Journal Sentinel had some photos of these kids laying down to form a big peace symbol in the rotunda. I laughed out loud when I saw it. What does peace have to do with this issue? But it's more proof that these kids had no idea what they were doing there. They were just having fun. And I've been saying this all along. You know, the teachers protested early on. The bulk of the government workers never really did get to protest. They went to work and did their jobs. They only protested on the weekends, if at all. So after a week of protests, the teachers were back at work, and that left three types of people protesting. A, the professional protesters brought into Wisconsin by labor unions. B, old Madison hippies from the 60s, and you could tell who they were. They were the older men and women in their 50s and 60s with gray beards and gray hair, women with no makeup, hair in unkempt buns atop their heads. That was that group. And then category C was the young nouveau hippies, I've been calling them. Students that are, kids that are in their 20s, maybe 18, 19. They've been polluted by that Marxist streak in Madison that still runs through the campus, and they wanted to have their own little sort of glory day protests so that they could talk about it years from now. And I make none of this up. I am not naming these three categories for effect. I lived in and I covered Madison for years. I covered the Capitol, covered government, covered politics. I was a student at the UW myself. I know of which I speak here. And so many of those young people were willingly used by the unions and the teachers in this protest, just willing dupes. And here's another instance. This is proof that these 20-something college kids had no idea that what they were even protesting or what they were doing. They were just hoodwinked by their professors and teachers. At UWM, teaching assistants and grad students might stage another walkout in protest or even a strike, and they hope students will go with them. This would be the second time we've seen UWM students protesting on behalf of higher pay and higher benefits for their TAs and for their professors. Idiots. That's one of the biggest reasons that your tuition is so high and why it jumps 5 to 10% every year, you fools. Your higher than necessary professor, grad assistant, TA pay and benefits is why you clowns are facing ever-escalating tuition hikes as students. And you know that most of these very same students who were protesting for their professors last week will be the same lunkheads who will participate in protests in fall because their tuition is too high. This is just proof they have no idea what they're even protesting or why. They're just enthusiastic kids, easily misguided and easily used. And I'm sorry if you fit that description and you're listening, but wise up.